Over 40 million adults in the US experience some sort of anxiety disorder every single year, and it's the most common mental disorder here in the US. And this can have an impact on your relationship, your quality of life, and your work and productivity, just like it had on me. So in this video, I'm gonna try to talk about 3 different things that really helped my anxiety personally go from having some sort of anxiety every single day to now having pretty much zero anxiety no matter what goes on in my day-to-day life. And hopefully you can take these and experiment with them yourself and see if they help you with your anxiety as well. That's the hope I have for this video. So thing number 1 that I did to try to reduce my anxiety levels is quitting caffeine. It's gonna sound crazy, but some days I remember I went to bed early because I was looking forward to waking up and having my first cup of dark roast coffee. I used to have the coffee machine on a timer, so I knew exactly the moment I woke up I would have a big full pot of dark roast to last me through the day. And the thing is, you did not want to be interacting with me before I had that first cup of coffee in the morning, because I was simply not a nice person to be around. Another thing is that I didn't really realize how much caffeine affected my life, because I've been drinking it my entire adult life, so I didn't really have any reference of what it would be like to simply quit coffee and what kind of impact caffeine had on me personally. And I remember I used to have cold sweats, so my armpits were always sweaty for some reason that I couldn't understand why. And I had problems focusing, and I overanalyzed every single thing. Every time I published a video on YouTube, I would get anxious for no reason at all, and I couldn't focus, and my energy levels were just off the charts the entire day. It went up and down, and then you have a high and then you have a low. You get a cup of coffee down here, so you get that energy back, and then you go down again and have another cup of coffee. I used to have 4 to 5 cups of coffee every single day, which is just insane to think about right now, because I've actually tried, as I said, it's been several years since I quit coffee, and I've tried to experiment what happens if I go back on it, and I immediately notice a difference in my mental state when I drink coffee, and that obviously goes to the negative side when I'm drinking coffee versus when I'm not drinking it. If you want to know more about how caffeine affects your body and mental states from a scientific standpoint, check out the book Caffeine Blues, link in the description. So that's tip number 1, is to, if you're a heavy coffee drinker, try to reduce it a little bit. I quit cold turkey. I just went from 5 cups for, I don't know, over a decade to 0 from one day to the other, which was really tough the first 3 days. I'm gonna make a video specifically on that later here on the channel, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. So try doing that. Reduce your caffeine intake if you're drinking energy drinks or coffee or what have you. So many products have caffeine in them today, so you might want to reduce that intake. Thing number 2 that I did, starting to change to kind of work on my own anxiety, was social media. So I decided to not scroll mindlessly through the feeds when you feel like you can't take your thumb off the screen and just keep scrolling. It's like the thumb itself has its own little mind. It's crazy what the feed of social media, how they are intended to keep you on it and almost addicted to it. And what this does is robs you of valuable time. Just imagine how many weeks or even months or years we spend at the end of our lives looking at some stupid 5-second dance move. And the thing is, I've never been on TikTok, and I don't think I'm ever gonna be on TikTok. I think TikTok is the worst when it comes to just frying your brain with input after input after input. It doesn't give you any breathing room to think even before they roll the next 5-second clip. Now there's a flip side to this, because I'm on YouTube right now. Obviously you're watching this video, and YouTube is kind of my job, so I have to use social media for that purpose. but I go in with the intent of using social media as a tool to build my channels and my business, and I go in with the intent to produce something instead of consuming everything that gets put in front of me. Once I'm done with the production of what I'm trying to do and the uploading, I'm off social media. I wouldn't have Facebook at all if it wasn't for my Facebook page. I really think Facebook has gone downhill since I joined in, I think, can't remember, 2007 or something like that. It's become a lot more ads and a lot more just time wasting things in the feed that I don't really want to spend time on, and that goes for pretty much all social media these days. I really think it's important to, this is something that not a lot of people do today, but that is to absolutely allow yourself to do absolutely nothing. Don't read a book, don't hold your phone, or just do nothing, because I think it's important to be able to be bored and allow yourself to be bored, because when you're bored, you're not getting bombarded with a bunch of inputs from other people's opinions or whatever dance moves they have to show you, 5-second clips, and instead you give yourself the time to actually think about how you're feeling and what you want to do, because I think we don't really have a lot of time these days when we have a moment to ourselves and doing absolutely nothing. Because the thing is, when you're bored, that's usually when the best ideas hit you and strike you, and that's where you can allow yourself to get your ideas from within instead of having them being bombarded at you from the outside every single minute of the day. So that's thing number 2. Allow yourself to be bored and put down the phone to actually think about what it is, how you are feeling without the bombardments of outside stimulation. Because even if you look at the feeds on social media, even the 24-year-old girl with 5 million followers, it seems to pop up on the most exotic places in the world, a different place every single week. Even her have a lot of problems on her mind. She's not just showing it on her Instagram feed, because the Instagram feed is the highlight reel of everybody's lives. We all have problems. The thing is, you just don't hear about them. Number 3 is possibly the most important part of reducing anxiety, specifically for if I talk for myself and my own personal experience, and that is exercise. We need to move our bodies. When we move our bodies, we automatically feel better. It doesn't matter if you go for a 5K or 10K run, or if you just decide to go outside in the sunshine and go for a 10-minute walk. Daily exercise to me is just as important as the air I breathe. So consider this a reminder to move your body daily, because it's screaming for you to get off the couch and put it to use. And once you do, your brain will thank you for it by releasing wonderful endorphins into your brain, giving you this feel-good feeling. And if you combine this exercise with social media reduction and caffeine, and quitting caffeine would be the best thing, or reducing caffeine, I think you have a solid plan on how to tackle your anxiety levels and bring them down. So do these things if you want to, and try this out and experiment with this, specifically these 3 things: the caffeine, social media, and most definitely the exercise part as well. Even if you don't feel like it, on the days you don't feel like it, I've come to realize after decades of, daily exercise, that the days I don't feel like it and I go to the gym anyway, or I go for a run anyway, I feel so much better after I did that, and it kind of boosts your confidence in yourself as well when you keep those promises you make to yourself and you follow through even on the days that you don't feel like it. I hope this video helped you with your anxiety related issues so you can become a more productive and happier person as well. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other tips to add to the list that I just added here. There was just 3 things that helped me personally. I want to hear your points and what helped you bringing your anxiety levels down. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.